Good afternoon, I'm Shubhendra Ghosh. Welcome to Midday Prime. In the next 1 hour, stories and updates from India and the world. ISRO achieved another milestone today as it successfully launched PSLV-C-47, its rocket carrying Cartosat-3 satellite. Now, this satellite has a very high-resolution camera and will help achieve a number of civil and strategic objectives for India. More on that in the show up ahead. Also updates from the Parliament, Maharashtra politics. Trade deal between US and China is nearing conclusion with a Hong Kong clause. All that and more. First, the big news at this hour. ISRO successfully launches imaging and mapping satellite Cartosat-3 on board its PSLV-C-47 rocket from Sriharikota. The launch vehicle also carries 13 commercial American nanosatellites. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates ISRO on yet another successful launch of PSLV-C-47, saying ISRO has once again made the nation proud. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves big increase in authorized capital of FCI from Rs 3,500 crore to Rs 10,000 crore. Also approves extension of norms for mandatory packaging of food grains and sugar in jute materials. BJP releases its manifesto for Jharkhand Assembly elections, promises free education to girl child from KG till PG. Chief Minister Raghubar Das says his government fulfilled 90% of the promises made in 2014. US President Donald Trump says trade deal with China is nearly finalized, but also says that Washington stands with protesters in Hong Kong, where it wants to see democracy. And in sports, led by Atanu Das, Indian archers bagged 3 bronze, also ensure at least 3 silver medals at the ongoing Asian Championship in Bangkok. Let's begin with the ISRO story. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, added another feather in its cap after it successfully launched the 3rd generation Earth imaging satellite into space. That's Cartosat-3, name of the satellite, from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. The launch enhanced India's ability in high-resolution imaging and also reinforced India as global launch destination for small satellites using its workhorse solar rocket polar satellite launch vehicle. Besides the Cartosat-3 satellite, the PSLV-C-47 rocket carried 13 nanosatellites from the US, roped in through the new commercial arm of New Space India. As per the mission scientists, the successful aspect of the PSLV-C-47 launch is that Vikram, the processor, has been developed by ISRO and was integrated into the navigation system of the launch vehicle and used for the first time. It's an indigenous device. ISRO chairman K. Sivan said Cartosat-3 was the most complex and advanced Earth observation satellite built by ISRO so far.
I am extremely happy to declare that PSLV-C-47 precisely injected Cartosat-3 and 13 customer satellites successfully in the desired orbit of 509 km. Cartosat-3 is the Indian highest resolution civilian spacecraft. It is also a most complex and advanced Earth observation satellite ISRO has built so far. Having achieved such a wonderful mission, you may be asking, what next? Our job is very, very simple. We are having 13 missions up to March. These 13 missions comprises of the 6 launch vehicle missions and 7 satellite missions we are targeting before March. Our hands are full. As usual, the team ISRO will rise to the occasion and meet the challenges and requirement and make every mission a grand success.
As the good news from ISRO came, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his good wishes to the ISRO team. In a tweet message, he said, "I heartily congratulate the entire ISRO team for yet another successful launch of PSLV C-47 carrying indigenous Cartosat-3 satellite and over a dozen nanosatellites of the US. The advanced Cartosat-3 will augment our high-resolution imaging capability. ISRO has once again made the nation proud." And Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has also congratulated the entire team of ISRO for the successful launch of Cartosat-3 satellite and over a dozen of nanosatellites from USA.
आज इसरो ने एक बार फिर PSLV रॉकेट का सफल प्रक्षेपण किया है। इस रॉकेट ने स्वदेशी कार्टोसैट-3 उपग्रह के अलावा अमेरिका के 1 दर्जन से अधिक नैनो सैटेलाइट्स को भी उनकी कक्षाओं में सफलतापूर्वक छोड़ा है। कार्टोसैट-3 उपग्रह हमारे देश की हाई रिजोल्यूशन इमेजिंग क्षमता को बढ़ाएगा। इस सफल प्रक्षेपण ने एक बार फिर देश का मान बढ़ाया है।
And Minister of State for Department of Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh, said that India is standing on the threshold of becoming Vishwamurti, world leader. He added that under leadership of Prime Minister Modi, now we are in the elite club of spacefaring nations.
भारी संख्या में विदेशी सैटेलाइट हमारे यहाँ से लॉन्च हो रहे हैं। आज भी लगभग 13 ऐसे नैनो सैटेलाइट्स जो विदेश के थे। तो आप ये अनुमान लगाइए कि एक ऐसा देश भारत जैसा जिसकी अंतरिक्ष यात्रा बहुत देर से हुई थी, यदि आप तुलना करें अमेरिका के साथ या तत्कालीन USSR के साथ, तो तब तो हम केवल कविता करते थे चंदा मामा दूर के। आज उन देशों के हम सहयोगी बन चुके हैं और इतना ही नहीं, शोध के क्षेत्र में जो हमारे चित्र उपलब्ध हो रहे हैं मंगलयान से, वो नासा तक पहुंच रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनके भी कामकाज में, शोध में, उनकी मिशंस में वो काम आ रहे हैं। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि जिस प्रकार भारत विश्व मूर्ति बनने की दहलीज पर खड़ा है, वो विश्व मूर्ति बनने की प्रक्रिया का प्रारंभ अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान के क्षेत्र से हो चुका है।
And to tell us more about the successful launch by ISRO, my colleague Philip Matthews is joining us to tell us about the project that he was covering. Philip, another eye in the sky for India. Take us through the key highlights of the mission.
Well, Subhendu, as you mentioned earlier, basically the key factor in this mission was the integration of, the semiconductor Vikram, which has been integrated with the navigation system for the first time. And this is, of course, a Make in Bharat initiative, which has come to success. And this particular flight was a success, not just in terms of its in terms of delivering the satellites into the required orbit, but also in proving that the navigation system of the PSLV, which incorporated Vikram, had also proved its success. As if you notice, the path that was followed by PSLV was almost parallel to the projected path that was shown on the screen by ISRO during the launch sequence. So it's clearly been a textbook launch, and Vikram has had a major role to play in that.
Right. Also, you mentioned about that particular graph, and it also reminds me of the Chandrayaan mission, Chandrayaan-2 mission, Philip. Whatever the outcome of that was, how significant is this success also in 2019 for ISRO?
Well, it is a major success. As I said, this will boost our, remote sensing capability. The fact that this Cartosat-3 is one more step in that direction. We've had a number of satellites in that series in the past, the Cartosat-1, 2, 2A, and the other Cartosat-2 series satellites. So this is one more step in that direction. The difference, of course, is that this particular satellite was carrying a high-resolution camera, a camera that can actually provide resolution of up to 25 centimeters. So that just gives you an idea of how powerful the camera on board is.
Right.
Of course, it has multiple applications. It can be used for rural development, agriculture, forestry, ocean development, urban mapping, you name it. Virtually there's any field
Absolutely,
that you
Philip,
mentioned,
and
which requires cartography,
Right.
will find the data that provided by Cartosat 3 very, very useful.
Absolutely,
Of course,
Philip,
it
and
has
we'll be in
obvious,
detail
defense,
telling our viewers
implications as well.
about these
But
features. Yeah. But thanks very much, Philip, for joining us with all those inputs on the project. And now we'll tell you about these key features that Philip was also mentioning. What makes Cartosat Cartosat 3 such an important satellite? And we'll talk about the manner in which this project is going to be significant. And we're going to talk about those features. Now, ISRO's flight of success is what we're calling it. PSLV-C-47 has successfully launched Cartosat 3, along with it 13 commercial nanosatellites. These nanosatellites are from the US, from America. So ISRO has ensured that PSLV carries these satellites also to their rightful orbit and place. But Cartosat 3 is what we are focusing on. It is a very, very special eye in the sky for India. Let's go on to our next slide and understand the significance of Cartosat 3. It's a third generation agile advanced satellite. It's a high resolution imaging capability. We're talking about the camera. The sensors that are present in the satellites are of high resolution, as Philip also mentioned. 25 centimeter resolution is also on the Earth is also what this satellite will be able to pick up. It has significant outcomes also. We're telling you about that. 0.25 meters translates into about 25 centimeter. Till now, such a high resolution camera in a satellite was not present there for India. It weighs about over 1600 kgs and it creates a power of about 2000 watts. Remember, the satellites make use of solar energy and it generates a power of about 2000 watt. The mission life, the period for which this satellite will work for India, give us data, is about 5 years. We're talking about ISRO's flight of success, Cartosat 3 satellite. The orbit, the distance of the satellite from the Earth is going to be just over 500 kilometers. It's also a polar satellite, so it revolves around the poles at an inclination of about 97.5 degrees. So certain technical understanding of how this satellite is going to be around Earth. What are the use of the satellite? The camera will help us large-scale urban planning. It will help us map, look at the manner in which urban areas are going to be developed, and for that, an eye from the sky, an image from the sky, a high-resolution one, is going to be a significant means. Besides that, rural resource and infrastructure development as well. Again, a high-resolution camera will enable us better pictures of Earth, of segments which are not easily perhaps even accessible through foot. The satellite will give us the image of that, and then the planning from there on will be made more efficiently. Coastal land use and land cover are also going to be certain important aspects of this satellite. The high resolution camera that we're talking about is going to enable us achieve all these ends. Besides weather mapping and cartography, and we're told that even military reconnaissance, so for security reasons also, this high resolution camera is going to be, satellite is going to be very significant. Besides Cartosat 3, 13 commercial nanosatellites were also launched for the US, not from, for the United States. These 13 satellites were launched. So ISRO has also developed as a commercial flight launcher, satellite launcher. In that manner also its significance is more. And it's a 300th foreign satellite mark that ISRO has crossed this time. So a viable and a preferable partner really for foreign nations who want to launch satellites. It's been launched under commercial agreement with New Space India Limited. That's the commercial arm of ISRO. In coordination, it has launched the 13 nanosatellites for the United States. Now, this again forms an important part of ISRO's flight of success. PSLV-C-46 was the 74th launch vehicle mission from Sriharikota. So also Sriharikota as a preferred destination for a launch, important space launches for India is a significant one. Is the 21st flight of PSLV in XL configuration. XL refers to the rocket PSLV, which is more potent. It is able to carry more weight. So the manner in which PSLV as a very, very reliable workhorse has also played a significant role in ISRO's journey. And we're talking about the key achievement of that, the big success launch of PSLV-C-47 and Cartosat 3 high-resolution satellite that has been launched today. Also to talk about more about the success story, Mr. Madan Lal, former Deputy Director, ISRO, is joining us in the studio. Welcome, sir, to our studio. Now, success has almost become synonymous with ISRO, but after the key takeaways of Chandrayaan-2 mission, how significant has this success come as?
Yes, I think after slight disappointment as far as Chandrayaan-2 is concerned,
yes,
this success is extremely important because one, it gives lot of confidence to the ISRO team.
Right.
It boosts their morale, and also we are, for the first time, as far as the launcher is concerned, we are using our own Vikram processor, which is extremely important. And secondly, as far as the satellite is concerned, most advanced high resolution camera is being used in Cartosat 3. Let's slightly go back in generation 1 Cartosat, because we have launched number of Cartosat satellites.
Even in Cartosat 3, this is the 9th satellite, as I understand,
Yes.
that has been launched.
And generation 1, we had a resolution of 2.5 meters. In generation 2, launches, we had 1 meter, and today we are talking of 0.25 meters.
That's 25 centimeter from a
25
height of over
centimeter.
500 kilometers, sir.
Yes.
If to simplify it, the uses that we talked about in urban planning, rural planning and other means, this resolution, in what manner is that going to help us?
Because now just imagine, suppose you are at, trying to monitor the traffic. Even small things we will be able to pick up with 0.25 meter resolution. You can count how many people are there, how many vehicles are there, everything can be identified.
Individuals and vehicles.
Individual things can be identified. So that way, you see, it becomes extremely important. Otherwise, they will look like blurred. But now with 2.5 meter resolution, they will be clearly seen, and you can really count them. You can plan your, you can do your planning accordingly. And similarly, other areas, of course, you yourself said, we have urban planning, then infrastructure planning in the rural areas, land use, and then for the defense, it is extremely important.
And what manner do you see, yes, in what manner do you also see, sir, that this takes forward the Make in India mission? You mentioned Vikram, the processor.
Yeah.
If you can tell us a little more about that, what does it achieve and how complex is it to make?
No, basically you see why one requires the processor is all the control, guidance and the navigation functions, they are processed on board.
Right.
And the information is processed very fast in real time at very small integration steps, and you need a very powerful processor for that. So this processor has been developed over the years, and it has been flown earlier in the monitoring mode. That is, you had the other processor, but parallelly this was also functioning, and we made sure that it functions very well. So today ISRO has integrated this one as the main processor. So that way it will reduce the cost, it will give us more confidence on the Make in India things.
Right. Also, we know that satellites are launched frequently by ISRO. Many of them are have a high resolution camera. But sir, before that, we'll have to go across to Parliament. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is speaking at the moment. We'll take you live to Parliament.
परिजनों की सुरक्षा के लिए काम करने लगा। मान्यवर, इसके बाद 91 और 94 में इसमें संशोधन हुआ, 99 में संशोधन हुआ और 2003 में संशोधन हुआ, और आज फिर से मैं एक संशोधन लेकर आया हूं जो मूल एक्ट के भावना के अनुरूप है। इसका निष्कर्ष मैं बताना चाहता हूं, बिल आप सभी माननीय सदस्यों के पास आपके माध्यम से पहुंचा है। जो संशोधन होने के बाद ये एक्ट बनेगा, ये एक्ट के तहत एसपीजी प्रोटेक्शन सिर्फ प्रधानमंत्री और उनके परिवार के सदस्य जो उनके साथ अधिकृत प्रधानमंत्री निवास पर रहते हैं उनके लिए ही उपलब्ध होगा। और दूसरा, कोई पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री और अपने परिवार जो सरकार द्वारा आवंटित किए गए आवास पर रहते हैं उनको 5 साल की अवधि तक ये एसपीजी प्रोटेक्शन उपलब्ध होगा। इस प्रकार का कानून में संशोधन लेकर आज मैं यहां पर आया हूं। मान्यवर, हमारे देश ने मल्टी पार्टी डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम में पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम को स्वीकार किया है। तो हेड ऑफ गवर्नमेंट हमारे संविधान के अनुरूप प्रधानमंत्री होते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी के पद के अनुरूप और उनके काम के अनुरूप और उनकी कार्यालय को सुरक्षित करने के लिए एक स्पेशल प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप बना गया है। और वो इसलिए जरूरी है कि हमारे देश में 2 प्रधानमंत्री और पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री जी की हत्या हुई है। ये देश के लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति है और इसलिए एसपीजी प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप बनाया गया और इसकी चुस्तता और उसकी योग्यता बनाए रखने के लिए भी ये कानून जब लाया गया तब बनाया गया था। उसके बाद में अलग अलग समय पर इसको डाइल्यूट किया गया और आज वो कानून ये संशोधन के साथ पूर्ववत हो रहा है कि एसपीजी का सुरक्षा कवच केवल और केवल प्रधानमंत्री और पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री होने के किस्से में उनको 5 साल तक उनके परिवार जो उनके साथ रहता है उन्हीं को मिलेगा। ये एसपीजी कवर इसलिए जरूरी है मान्यवर कि प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार और सारी व्यवस्थाएं काम करती है, देश को सुरक्षित करने का काम करती है। कई कठोर फैसले सामाजिक सुधार हेतु, देश की सुरक्षा के आंतरिक सुरक्षा से जुड़े हुए, कई देश की बाह्य सुरक्षा के जुड़े हुए लेते हैं और उस वक्त उनकी सुरक्षा के खतरे को जीरो करने के लिए, इसको संपूर्ण निर्मूल करने के लिए स्पेशल प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप उसकी जरूरत है और इसीलिए इसकी बीरबलनाथ कमेटी ने अनुशंसा की थी, जिसको बाद में कानून का स्वरूप दिया और इसकी जो भावना है वो उसी के नाम के अंदर ही निहित है। इसकी नामावली में ही इसका मूल अर्थ समाहित किया गया माननीय। और मैं पहले स्पष्ट कर दूं कि इसकी पूरी व्यवस्था पद के अनुसार बनाई गई। जनता के अंदर, अखबारों में जब से बिल की चर्चा है तब से एक भ्रांति है कि सिर्फ एसपीजी सुरक्षा का काम करता है। तो मैं इसकी डिटेल में जरा थोड़ा जानना चाहता हूं कि एसपीजी प्रधानमंत्री जी की ऑफिस की, उनके कम्युनिकेशन की, सबकी सुरक्षा का काम करता है। मगर आप मुझे सुने बगैर ही रिजेक्ट कर देंगे। मैं तात्पर्य तो बताऊं ना। अभी कुछ नहीं बताया। इसके सामने मान्यवर स्पेशल शब्द उपयोग किया गया है। यह केवल और केवल प्रधानमंत्री जी की सुरक्षा के प्रति ये इंगित करता है। इंदिरा जी की हत्या के बाद जो बीरबलनाथ कमेटी बनी, उसने कहा कि एक अत्यधिक प्रशिक्षित विशेष बल का प्रधानमंत्री की सुरक्षा के लिए सृजन करना चाहिए। तो स्पेशल शब्द इंगित करता है कि ये केवल प्रधानमंत्री जी की सुरक्षा के लिए है। प्रोटेक्शन शब्द है, इसमें केवल फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी की बात नहीं है। प्रधानमंत्री जी का पद, उसकी गरिमा, प्रधानमंत्री पद एज ए इंस्टीट्यूशन, उनका कार्यालय, उनका आरोग्य और उनके कम्युनिकेशन, ये सारी चीजों की चिंता करता है क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री कार्याध्यक्ष होते हैं, हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट होते हैं। तो इसके लिए प्रोटेक्शन शब्द का प्रयोग किया गया। और ग्रुप से है एलिट ग्रुप होना चाहिए, कॉम्पैक्ट, एलिट और विशेष प्रकार से प्रशिक्षित यूनिट होना चाहिए, जिसका कार्यकलाप इस तरह से तय किया जाएगा कि इनकी चुस्तता में कहीं पर भी डाइल्यूशन नहीं होगा। इस प्रकार से एसपीजी को बनाया गया है। मान्यवर, जहां पूरे देश भर की, दुनिया भर की बात करें तो दुनिया में कई देशों के अंदर उनके राष्ट्राध्यक्षों के लिए अलग अलग प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप बने हैं और दुनिया में सभी जगह वो प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप केवल और केवल राष्ट्राध्यक्ष की सुरक्षा का ध्यान रखते हैं। इनकी कम्युनिकेशन, ऑफिस, उनके काम करने की जगह, ये सबके प्रोटेक्शन की व्यवस्था करते हैं। और इसी प्रकार से जैसे अमेरिका में यूएस सीक्रेट सर्विस है, इजराइल, फ्रांस, इंग्लैंड, ये सब जगह पे इस प्रकार की व्यवस्था है जो केवल और केवल राष्ट्राध्यक्ष उनके काम की चिंता करती है। मान्यवर, मैं इसीलिए आज ये बिल को लेकर सदन के सामने आया हूं। स्वागतदा का कहना है कि बाद में, चर्चा के बाद मैं जवाब दूं। हाँ, बाद में मैं जवाब दूंगा, मगर इसके पीछे उद्देश्य इतना है कि स्पेशल प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप और एफिशिएंट बने और स्पेशल प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप के काम में कोई गोताही न हो। इस प्रकार से इसको काम की व्यवस्था करके देना, ये उद्देश्य से मैं आज इसको लेकर आया हूं। मेरा अनुरोध है सभी अपने अपने विचार रखें और इसके बिल को बाद में आप लोग स्वीकार करें, यही भी मैं अनुरोध करता हूँ। मनीष तिवारी जी।
अध्यक्ष जी, आज हम एक बहुत ही संवेदनशील विधेयक के ऊपर
That was Home Minister Amit Shah introducing the SPG Amendment Bill 2019 in Lok Sabha. He was talking about the various features of this bill. And SPG, remember, a special protection guard is meant to protect the Prime Minister of the country. And he was speaking about how it should only focus on him and his family. And also there's a provision in which he mentioned that former Prime Ministers, after the leave office, up to 5 years, should be extended the SPG protection. There were different features which will be discussed further in the Parliament. But those were the highlights coming in from the Parliament. We'll continue our discussion with Mr. Madan Lal, who's the former Deputy Director of ISRO. Mr. Lal, we were talking about the achievement, the success story of ISRO, also as a credible commercial launcher for satellites, for foreign associates. How significant is this particular launch also for ISRO? Remember, 13 of the United States of America satellites have also been launched alongside Cartosat-3.
I think it is extremely important because I think nearly 310 commercial satellites have been launched
across the 300
so
mark,
far.
yes.
So far, that really tells how much confidence the other countries, even the advanced countries like US, are having in our space technology and our capability to launch and provide the opportunity which they themselves are not able to provide. See, we are able to provide the opportunity within very fast, and our launch vehicles are tailored in such a way, like PSLV, it has a lot of variants, so that we can accommodate.
Also cost effective.
Very cost effective. That is how it becomes cost effective.
Right.
Because we have number of variants. So we can accommodate the main satellite as well as number of other small satellites. So, India is becoming one of the, most popular country as far as launching these satellites are concerned, small satellites, nano satellites and other things.
Right.
And definitely in future, I am sure we'll capture the market as far as the major satellites are also concerned.
And there's a question that I was asking before we went live to the Parliament was that India has previously launched a number of satellites, many of them with high resolution camera. So are we thinking about an ecosystem of high resolution cameras in the sky that work for India's interest? Are we working towards that in some manner?
Pardon me?
I was saying that there are multiple satellites that India has launched, many with high resolution cameras. So is there going to be an ecosystem of high resolution camera for India in the sky?
Yeah, no, we have to look at it this way. You see, we launched a number of Cartosat satellites.
That's correct, Cartosat.
Cartosat satellites earlier, but their resolution was not so good.
Okay.
So with every Cartosat we are going series, we are improving the situation. And every satellite has a life, so we keep replacing them also. So certain number of satellites are really required for our purposes in the sky. So we are trying to meet those requirements.
And with such high resolution, we spoke about different uses, but also we've seen in recent military security operations, satellites played a very crucial role. So now having an even higher resolution camera satellite in the sky will also in a manner boost our security standards?
Certainly, because you will be able to get even the minor details as far as border is concerned and other things. So it will certainly boost our defense preparedness and other things.
Right, and on that note, sir, let me thank you for joining us in the studio and sharing all those updates and the potential of ISRO and also Cartosat-3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on, Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that terror incidents have largely come down in Jammu and Kashmir after abrogation of provision Article 370 in the first week of August. Replying to a question in Lok Sabha, Raksha Mantri said security forces and police are working in close coordination to clamp down on terror.
धारा 370 समाप्त होने के बाद यह मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि पहले के कंपैरिजन में अब आतंकवादी घटनाएं लगभग 9 के बराबर हो गई हैं। यदि कोई भी आतंकवादी घटना घटित हुई है तो उसको स्वाभाविक है कि सभी कंडम करेंगे, उसको कोई अप्रिशिएट तो करेगा नहीं। लेकिन इतना मैं कह सकता हूं कि चाहे वहां की आर्मी हो, चाहे वहां की पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेज हो, चाहे वहां की लोकल पुलिस हो, ये सब सारे म्यूचुअल कोऑर्डिनेशन के आधार पर आतंकवादी घटनाओं के खिलाफ बराबर प्रभावी कार्रवाई अपनी तरफ से कर रहे हैं। कश्मीर में तेजी से नॉर्मलसी आ रही है, अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं कहना चाहूँ तेजी से नॉर्मलसी आ रही है।
Meanwhile, Lok Sabha took up the prohibition of electronic cigarettes production, manufacturing, import, export, transport, sale, distribution, storage and advertisement Bill 2019 for consideration and passage. Replying to the debate in Lok Sabha, Health Minister Vardhan said that electronic cigarettes is highly toxic and it can affect organs of the body.
E-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is a highly toxic chemical that can adversely affect any organ of the body. Some states in India have even included it in the schedule of poisonous substances. A dosage of 30 to 50 milligrams of nicotine can kill an adult human being, and in pure form, nicotine can also cause cancer.
And my colleague Vishal Barrister is now joining us from the Parliament premises with more updates of what is going on there. Vishal, good afternoon. Moments ago, we were listening to Home Minister Amit Shah talking about the SPG Amendment Bill. We know the topic of SPG has had many controversies in the recent past. In what manner is this amendment progressive?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Shubhendu. Yes, indeed, this has been a bone of contention between Congress, I would say rather,
yes.
Congress and the government. And the Congress has been harping upon it, and it has been accusing the government of using this issue in the parliament against the Congress party, because in the manner in which the SPG was taken off from the Gandhi family, and the Congress has been trying to rake up this issue time and again. But as you heard the Home Minister, he has rightly said that the elite security service is to be used for the Prime Minister and his family, because it is not about his personal security, but the Prime Minister is also has a lot of communication with the defense forces, with the police forces, and with all the security systems. So it is the communication of the Prime Minister and the way he is running the government that is also to be secured, and that is why the government wants that top attention should be given only to the Prime Minister, obviously his family, and also Prime Minister who have been before the present Prime Minister up to 5 years, because it's a very costly affair and the nation's money cannot be spent for anything and everything. This was the statement made by the Home Minister. While the debate is still on, and Manish Tiwari did stand up to object on what the Home Minister had to say.
Vishal, also could you broadly take us through the legislation business planned for the day in the both houses?
Well, Shubhendu, a very interesting move by the government, and now it stands passed both in both houses of the parliament, especially on the e-cigarette, because as you heard Dr. Vardhan saying that it's a preemptive strike on the new form of nicotine addiction. Now, this is a very interesting definition, because we all know that what are the effects and ill effects of tobacco. Nicotine is also a new form of tobacco, nicotine, I would say. So the youngsters and the young generation is easily seduced by this ads and all, and they can be addicted to it. So we want to save our generation next from it. So it's a good move, and despite objection again from the Congress party, it has passed smoothly in the lower house as well. So it has been a smooth day as far as the parliament proceedings are concerned. Both houses function normally, and before the parliament, both houses started functioning, the cabinet there was a meeting of the cabinet committee also, and in which there were some very interesting issues which came up. And for the benefit of our viewers, I would like to say that the term of the 15th Finance Commission has been extended till October 2020. And along with that, the MOU that India had signed with Myanmar regarding human trafficking, and also an MOU which India signed with Saudi Arabia on the drug trafficking have also been approved. There are other issues. One important issue I would like to
raise here, Shubhendu, is regarding the COP25 convention, which would be held in Spain in December. And for that, India has made it very clear that under the leadership of the Environment Minister, Prasar Bharati, India would follow the spirit of Paris Agreement in toto. So these were the events of the day.
Right there, Vishal, thanks very much for joining us from Parliament premises and getting us those updates. Moving on, we now get you updates on the Assembly polls campaign in Jharkhand. Union Minister and senior BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad today released the party's manifesto, BJP's manifesto for Jharkhand elections, promising jobs for at least one member of every below poverty line family in the state if elected back to power. The party also pledged to provide financial assistance to high school students hailing from backward and poor families. The party also has promised free education from KG to PG post-graduation for girl child. It also assured a loan of up to Rs 5 lakh for tribal women running self-help groups. Speaking on the occasion, Ravi Shankar Prasad said the government will promote sports in the state if re-elected to power.
भाजपा की आने वाली सरकार झारखंड को खेल क्षेत्र में बहुत आगे बढ़ाना चाहती है। तो नरेंद्र मोदी की एक बहुत बड़ी सोच है कि देश को आईटी में भी आगे बढ़ाना है, स्किलिंग में भी आगे बढ़ाना है, नौजवानों को और देश के लोगों को फिट भी रखना है और देश को खेल के क्षेत्र में भी आगे बढ़ाना है। और ये मैं कह सकता हूं कि झारखंड के बच्चों में, विशेष रूप से हमारे आदिवासी नौजवान बेटों और बेटियों में खेलने की अद्भुत प्रतिभा है। हॉकी के क्षेत्र में बहुत ही अच्छा खेलते हो, तो आप देखेंगे इस पूरे संकल्प पत्र में एक एक जिले में स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स, प्रतिभा की पहचान, उनको सम्मान, ये सब बहुत करने की कोशिश की गई है।
And ahead of the Jharkhand Assembly elections, the Election Commission is making some new experiments for the convenience of voters. For the first time, a postal ballot has been arranged for the convenience of senior citizens and Divyang voters. Not only this, there will be a token system as well at the polling stations, and a booth app, mobile app, will also let you know the queue at the polling stations.
In view of the forthcoming assembly polls in Jharkhand, the Election Commission is working on new experiments to make sure 100% voting is taking place in the state. Various new services are being introduced for the upcoming polls. Jharkhand Chief Electoral Officer Vinay Kumar Chaubey said that special provisions have been made in the 7 assembly constituencies for Divyang voters and voters aged more than 80 years, which will help them to vote from home by postal ballot.
7 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में दिव्यांग हमारे जो मतदाता हैं और 80 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र वाले जो हमारे जो सीनियर सिटीजन हैं, जो मतदाता हैं, उनकी सुविधा के लिए पोस्टल बैलेट की सुविधा दी जा रही है। इस बात को भी आपको लोगों तक पहुंचाना चाहिए। ये 7 विधानसभा क्षेत्र चौथे एवं 5वें चरण में है।
In order to exercise their franchise through postal ballot, the voter will have to fill up Form 12D within 5 days from the nomination date. The Chief Electoral Officer said voters will not need to queue up in the polling stations in this assembly elections, as token system will be available through which voters can collect tokens from booth and vote when their turn comes.
71 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में हम लोग एक ऑफलाइन टोकन की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं, जिसमें कि हर पुरुष हर महिला को अलग अलग टोकन सिस्टम टोकन नंबर मिलेगा, उनके लिए बैठने की व्यवस्था की जाएगी और अधिकतम 10 लोग लाइन में लगे रहें, ऐसा हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे। उसके अलग से वॉलंटियर्स भी हम लोग सभी जगह दे रहे हैं।
Apart from this, the booth app will be used in 10 assembly constituencies. Under this, the voters can download the booth app on their smartphone. Through this app, they can know the number of voters present at their polling station, and accordingly, they can go to the booth and cast their vote.
जो ECI का एक बूथ ऐप, नया बूथ ऐप बना है, वो लॉन्च पायलट किया गया था पिछले इलेक्शंस में एक आध जगह पे विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में। तो हम लोग यहाँ पे 10 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में बूथ ऐप की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं, जिसमें कि मोबाइल से उनके फोटो वोटर स्लिप को स्कैनिंग किया जाएगा और उसके बाद उससे अगर कोई किसी ने उस बूथ ऐप को अपने घर मतलब मोबाइल में डाउनलोड किया हुआ है, तो घर बैठे देख सकता है कि उसके बूथ में आज के दिन इस वक्त कितने लोग लाइन में लगे हुए हैं।
In addition to all these services, minimum assured facilities including drinking water, toilets and sitting arrangements will be made available in all polling stations. Election Commission is constantly engaged in making this festival of democracy as big celebration and is ensuring the use of better technology. Devakar Kumar's report, DD News, Ranchi.
From Jharkhand, let's talk about Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, a special session of the State Assembly was held in Mumbai to administer oaths to members in the 288-member House. The newly elected members could not take oaths even a month after the results of the Assembly elections were announced due to dramatic political developments in the state. Among those sworn in early were Ajit Pawar, Chhagan Bhujbal, Ashok Chavan, Prithviraj Chavan, Pro-Tem Speaker Kalidas Kolambakar administered the oaths to the legislators at the session. The state remained under President's rule from November 12th to 23rd after no political party was able to form a government.
Me, Nawab Malik Muhammad Islam.
Earlier, Maharashtra Chief Minister Designate and Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray, accompanied by wife Rashmi, met Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari at Raj Bhavan. The Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress on Tuesday named Thackeray as their chief ministerial face. Thackeray has been chosen as the leader of Shiv Sena, NCP, Congress, Mahavikas Aghadi. The three parties have claimed support of 166 MLAs in the 288-member Maharashtra Assembly. Shiv Sena chief will be the first from the Thackeray family to be sworn in as the chief minister tomorrow. And my colleague Shama Mishra is joining us from Mumbai with more updates on the developments in Maharashtra. Shama, after much political drama, we've seen all sides and developments. Can we say the road is now clear for the alliance of the three parties, Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress, to go ahead and get the power?
Well, definitely, all is definitely clear here because yesterday's the drama, we could say that the yesterday's drama was the last chapter in that fictional book of Maharashtra political scenario where Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister, he went and submitted his resignation, after which the Devendra Fadnavis government also gave their resignation, and it was really clear that a party having 105 plus independents could not make their majorities, and so the party or the alliance, which is the Mahavikas Aghadi, having 162 number of people with them, would be for making the government. Also yesterday night we saw that the delegation went to the governor. Today morning we saw Uddhav Thackeray and his wife Rashmi Thackeray. They went and met Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari in Maharashtra, and also here the biggest development here, we saw that all the MLAs have taken their oaths in a special assembly session of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. Now the meeting between the NCP MLAs are on. Also the leaders are also meeting separately because they have to decide what portfolio goes to which leader and how many portfolios goes to a particular party, because speaking to all the leaders here over here or the newly elected MLAs over here at Vidhan Bhavan, they did mention that, you know, in the next 2 days this portfolio distribution, the work of portfolio distribution would be done, and they would be also thinking on whom and whose name would be coming up for the post of the Speaker of the House. We also knew earlier, you know, between the NCP and Congress, there were issues on appointing whose party would be choosing their speaker. So yes, we are guessing that the names that are coming up would be from both the parties, and they would have to finalize on the name of one particular party. So yes, the next 2 days we would be seeing more meetings and discussions going on the portfolios and on the stamp of the name of the speaker. Also, we would be witnessing Uddhav Thackeray would be taking the swearing in. He would be swearing in as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra in the Shivaji Park ground, which is known, you know, for Shiv Sena's forte, because they hold it. They hold the Dashera rally over there. Also, the cremation of late Supremo of Shiv Sena, Balasaheb Thackeray.
Shama, there's also much curiosity around what happens to
for the Shiv Sena.
Right. There's also much curiosity about the fate of Ajit Pawar. What happens to him now? Resigned from the Deputy Chief Minister's position in alliance with the BJP, really stood against his own party, but he was welcomed back with a hug. So, interesting there, what happens to him next?
We tried catching up Ajit Pawar over here in Vidhan Bhavan, and all the time when he came and then he came for a photo op, he did not speak much to the media. He kept on stressing only at one sentence that I was never out of NCP, I am still in NCP, and NCP never expelled me from the party, so I'm still in the party. Now what happens to the name of Ajit Pawar, because whatever names we are listening from inside the party for the post of Deputy Chief Minister or for the post of other important portfolios, Ajit Pawar's name has not cropped up till now. But yes, the entire party, even the sister Supriya Sule, they have welcomed Ajit Pawar with all the warmth and everything.
Yeah, there was warmth was clearly visible. We'll have to wait and watch.
Because he's also attending the meeting of NCP right now, and we will have to see what happens to him.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and watch how the political developments map on from here on. Thank you very much, Shama, for joining us with those updates from Mumbai. President Ramnath Kovind has said that higher education is seen as a fundamental enabler of social, economic, scientific and intellectual progress and advancement. He was addressing the 15th FICCI Higher Education Summit. President Kovind said liberal arts education needs to be given equal importance as science and technology. On the occasion, President Ramnath Kovind also released the FICCI report on 15 years of its journey.
Higher education as a public policy issue enjoys primacy the world over. It is seen as a fundamental enabler of social, economic, scientific and intellectual progress and advancement. In the case of India, we have a distinguished history of higher education to inspire us as we work to strengthen and illuminate our universities as fonts of knowledge and learning.
In time now for all the updates from the world of business and finance, my colleague Rukma is joining us now. Rukma, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Shubhendu. And viewers, we start off with how the Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, has compulsorily retired yet another 21 Group B officers of the rank of ITO under Fundamental Rule 56J in the public interest due to corruption and other charges and CBI traps. With this, till now 85 officers, including 64 high-ranking tax officers, in which 12 officers were from the CBDT, have been compulsorily retired under Fundamental Rule 56J this year. And news from the markets. Gold prices in India fell yesterday, tracking weak global rates and a higher rupee. On MCX, prices of gold futures for December delivery fell 0.20% to 37,650 per 10 grams, extending losses to the 6th day in a row. Tracking gold, silver price on MCX edged lower, falling 0.45% to 44,036 rupees per kg. In global markets, gold prices eased today, falling to a 2-week low, and on optimism that US and China could reach a trade deal soon. And Reserve Bank of India Deputy Governor M.K. Jain expressed concern about rising bad debt level in Mudra loans. Speaking at a SIDBI event in microfinance, he said with the growing mobilization of financial services, banks must enhance capabilities of borrowers so that individuals in the new income group could not merely avail the offered services but are also capable of demanding preferred products and service suitable to their needs and choices. And that's all in business news. Back to Shubhendu for the rest of Midday Prime.
Thank you, Rukma, for joining us with those inputs. And let's now find out what's making news across the globe. President Donald Trump of the United States has said that US and China were nearing a deal while at the same time offering support for Hong Kong, where it wants to see democracy. After top US and Chinese officials agreed on talks towards a preliminary Phase 1 agreement, Trump told reporters at White House, and quote, we're in the final throes of a very important deal. I guess you could say one of the most important deals in trade ever. The president further added, it's going to be very well, but at the same time, we want to see it go well in Hong Kong. Trump, meanwhile, hasn't said if he will sign a bill in support of Hong Kong protesters that was earlier passed by both chambers of the Congress last week. Meanwhile, a major tunnel in Hong Kong reopened on Wednesday as a week-long police siege of a nearby university appeared to be winding down, closing one of the more violent chapters in the city's anti-government protests. The Cross Harbour Tunnel, which links Hong Kong Island to the rest of the region, had been closed for about 2 weeks after protesters blocked the approach with debris and set the toll booths on fire as they fought and clashed with the police. Search teams sweeping Hong Kong Polytechnic campus for a second straight day found no evidence of any protesters still holding out, said University Vice President Miranda Lu. On Tuesday, one person was found, a young woman, in rather weak condition. Time now for all the action from the world of sports. My colleague Anil Thomas is here. Anil, India shining in archery.
Well, thank you, Shubhendu. Exactly. Indian archers, they're though not playing under the Indian flag, but surely led by Antanu Das. Indian archers making a big splash there, or a big statement, bagging 3 bronze medals on Tuesday while ensuring at least 3 silvers at the ongoing Asian Championship in Bangkok. The Indian archers are competing in the tournament as neutral athletes under the World Archery flag due to the suspension of the National Federation. Das first clinched a bronze in the men's recurve individual event in the morning. He had earlier won a bronze in the recurve mixed team event with Deepika Kumari on Monday, later completing a hat-trick of bronze medals by finishing on the podium in the men's recurve team event as well. Moreover, the Indian archers also stormed in the finals of 3 compound events scheduled to be held later today. On to football, Real Madrid qualified for the last 16 of the 2019-20 season of the UEFA Champions League despite being held to a 2-2 draw by Paris Saint-Germain in Group A on Tuesday night. Karim Benzema bagged a brace to put the hosts 2-0 in front before Kylian Mbappe and substitute Pablo Sarabia drew PSG level. Real had already escaped going down to 10 men in the first half when a red card shown to Thibaut Courtois after the goalkeeper brought down Mario Icardi in the box, and that is proved by the video action replay. A tough night for the home side was compounded by Eden Hazard leaving the pitch in the second half after a tackle from Thomas Meunier. Meanwhile, the Paris side were able to give Neymar some minutes on his return to the Champions League action. The stalemate at the Santiago Bernabeu guaranteed PSG will finish on top of the group, but Real will also join them in the knockout phase thanks to Club Brugge drawing 1-1 with Galatasaray earlier in the day.
What a stunning goal! Sarabia with the finish.
Bayern Munich, meanwhile, secured their top spot in the Champions League group with a match to spare after 4 second-half goals from Robert Lewandowski inspired them to a 6-0 away mauling of Red Star Belgrade on Tuesday night. The result left Bayern top of Group B on 15 points, 7 more than Tottenham Hotspur, who joined them in the last 16 after fighting back from 2 goals down to beat Olympiacos 4-2 at home. Jose Mourinho made a dramatic entrance at his new home as Tottenham came back from 2 goals down to beat Olympiacos and qualify for the Champions League knockout phase. Mourinho made a low-key entrance for his first game as manager at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but then it was drama all the way as he was subjected to all facets of the side he inherited from sack Mauricio Pochettino. Tottenham striker Harry Kane is the fastest player to score 20 Champions League goals, reaching the tally in just 24 appearances and breaking the record held by Alexandre Del Piero since 1998. This is the first time a team managed by Jose Mourinho has come back from 2 goals down to win a Champions League game he had lost on the previous 13 occasions. Well, that's all we have time for in sports. Back to Shubhendu for more updates.
Many thanks, Anil, for joining us with those inputs. And let's now find out what's in store in Live Prime today. Using a bright orange electrocardiogram machine attached with suction cups to body of a blue whale, scientists for the first time have measured the heartbeat of the world's largest creature and came away with insight about the renowned behemoth's physiology. The blue whale, which can reach up to 100 feet long and weigh over 200 tons, lowers its heart rate to as little as 2 beats per minute as it lunges under the ocean surface for food. The researchers have informed the maximum heart rate they recorded was 37 beats per minute after air-breathing marine mammal returned to the surface from Foraging a drive, the researchers obtained 9 hours of data from an adult male whale about 72 feet long encountered in Monterey Bay off California's coast. Fascinating discovery there. And with that, we conclude this edition of Midday Prime. News and updates continue after a short break. Namaskar.